Inside this brotherhood, our strategy for winning your wife back is dead simple. Step number 1, release your rage. Now, if you've been following these videos, you now understand that there's so much to unpack here. Primarily, by releasing your rage, what you're going to achieve is you're going to hunt down and kill the monster that keeps it unsafe for her to communicate what is not working for her inside the marriage. That's going to enable her to start to let down her walls, as we've discussed before. Step number 2 is that you're going to be the man. And what I mean by be the man and the leader and the king of your kingdom is that you're going to hunt down and you're going to kill the mama's boy. You're going to step up. And with these 2 shifts, what you're going to accomplish is you're going to actually become the king who is able to deliver on the promise of rarely ever hurting her, and if he does, it is not deeply, and he knows how to resolve it, which is going to be step number 3. And it's also going to deliver on the promise of being that king who is always taking care of her, and in any time that she comes to believe that that is not the case, it is easily resolved, and he knows how to resolve it, not only by doing it so that she never has to revisit it again, but also how to handle releasing her rage, which is actually step 3, releasing her rage. That's having those elite level husband skills, those elite level communication skills that are absolutely necessary to make sure that these issues get resolved and do not fester and grow inside of her brain. And then step 4 is that once you've accomplished these first 3 shifts, you now have the elite level husband skills to be able to coach your marriage, which means not only helping the marriage to grow and thrive and succeed, which is a primary responsibility of the king, but also having the tools and the elite level husband emotions and skills and tools to actually have your wife follow along your journey of self-improvement so that you get that happy girl, that laughing, dancing, tickling, teasing, smiling, playing girl who is always kind and compassionate and loving and caring and forgiving and accepting and having patience and giving you the benefit of the doubt and forgiving you for the little minor failures that you are now containing failure into, these tiny little failures that actually help to build and strengthen your marriage as you release her rage and you coach your marriage. That's it, brother. It's simple. It's direct. It's biblical. And at the time of this video, it's helped 2,100 and actually 49, because when I created this slide, this 2,148 men that it's helped to win their wife back and keep her back, period, I had not taken into account the fact that as I sat down to record this, I got another testimonial because I got a report back from one of the men in my program. And what he said is, I have some good news this morning, Bob. My wife turned a corner about 3 days ago. This is day 4 after she turned the corner, and she's having another good day. Before the turn, she was depressed and angry. The other night, she even told me that there was no chance ever that she would ever love or trust me again. My response to her was textbook out of your training. And that led to, last night we were laying in bed, watching some videos on marriage. We were talking, and she looked over and said that she wanted to be intimate. It's only week 3 of your program, and I'm fully committed, and it's working. Most importantly, she has followed my lead to become sanctified, and she is going to church and working on herself. She has even been talking about renewing our vows and making plans for the future, just like you said she would. And I'm not sure she even knew she was doing it. I'm going to post my story in our Brotherhood app's live feed to encourage other men. I know the work is forever, but it is truly amazing how much better I can tell that she feels about herself and her life in general. I see a full revival of this marriage in the future, brother. And my brother, I want to give you extreme comforting and encouragement to to let you know that these results can be for you as well. Best of all, this entire process is designed to help you to dig yourself out of the pit of rage and become the emotional leader in your home, empowering you to absorb her negative emotions and transcend them so that she comes to believe that she will feel better every time she has an interaction with you, just like what you just witnessed in the testimonial on the slide above. At last, you can stop the bickering and start building a life with your wife, your woman, your queen. And this strategy grows with you. We use this to get her talking. We use this to keep her talking. We use this to help her find her happiness. We use this to help her become her idea of the best version of herself every day for the rest of your lives together. This strategy has worked for all those men over 17 years, and it has worked for me every day of those 17 years. So no matter where you are in your marriage today, this is the strategy that you want to be using. So you might be thinking, okay, Bob, but will it work for me? And the truth is, I don't know, brother. That's why it's so important that we have to have our strategy call. We need to have a conversation so that my team and I can figure out exactly whether this strategy is right for you or not. But I will tell you this. If you are an otherwise successful guy who has not done something so scary to your wife that she's filed a restraining or no contact order, and you're open to a biblical program, and you're prepared to do the work, stay strong, and bring 100% of your guts and commitment to this process, then this brotherhood will support you every step of the way, and this process will work for you. And you might be thinking, Bob, I understand this strategy, and I've even tried it, and it failed. Well, first of all, I believe the exact prescription for this strategy and how to implement it was given to me by the Holy Spirit as God was leading me to what I call the have-it-all marriage, which is a marriage that ministers to the masses. But really, what makes the Real Man Revolution and the Real Man's Way different is that we guide you step by step through the process. For example, we help you with every communication with your wife, just like you saw in the example above, helping you craft them so that you're 100% being the man, 0% monster, 0% mama's boy, every step of the way. And then we help you to write and rewrite exactly what needs to be said so that it is absolutely coming from you. In other words, your words, yet it's exactly what she's wanted to hear for her entire life. And we teach you exactly what to say and exactly how to say it to get her talking, opening up, releasing her rage, resolving issues, gaining trust, building attraction, building connection, building attachment, and feelings of wanting to be close to you again. Again, man, I sound like a broken record and I know it, but exactly like that testimonial that we just went over. Every step of the way, brother. And we teach you how to have those critical conversations that turn the corner away from divorce and back into your arms and back into your bed and happy and enthusiastic to be there. So the strategy is simple. And we customize the training to be an exact fit for every man, for the unique problems inside your individual marriage, and we leave no details out. This strategy has worked for thousands of marriages with more problems than you could ever have known could exist between a man and a woman. And most of them were starting from her not even speaking, having said her piece that she was done, and there was no fixing it, and she was never coming back. So I guess the only question is if this strategy is working miracles for so many other men, why not you? Why not you, brother? So many of our students felt exactly the way you do right now. And they took the leap. They did the most masculine alpha male thing possible. They took a stand for their marriage. And they leveraged a proven system to give them so much certainty and the skills to infect their wife with joy and certainty rather than stress hormones. And it's okay to have doubts. It's okay to have questions. In fact, 17 years ago, I would have had serious reservations about could such a simple system turn around such a crushing life problem. I would have been very serious about considering it. I would have been very cautious about choosing it. Any intelligent man should question this because elite level anything is rare, and a program that gets these kinds of results is very rare. Yet any intelligent and successful man will see the evidence and see these stories, see this strategy, and think, okay, you know what? This is different. This will work for me. Let's roll. Chapter 2, A Community of Masters. Access to this brotherhood. Just having access to this Christian brotherhood of successful men will instantly upgrade your purpose, your demeanor, your energy, the way that you show up for your wife. It's going to upgrade your confidence, your certainty, your masculinity, all of these traits critical to be in the how you show up category so that your newly correct words and behaviors will land correctly. And you'll never have to experience the pain of operating alone with no support system that helps you to be a better man, a better husband, a better father, and a better follower of Christ again. You don't have to keep operating alone. You don't have to keep suffering through the endless days and nights of trying to figure it out alone. You don't have to keep pumping that toxic mixture of stress hormones into your body, waking up at 3 a.m., terrified about what's going to happen to your kids, and seeing your dreams for your wife and your family slipping through your fingers with nobody to talk to about it and nowhere to turn. Big God, big example, big service, big leadership, big love. That's what you'll find inside this brotherhood. God sets the example, and we train men to follow it. When you join this community, you join a community of elite masters of Ephesians 5 husbands, of elite mentors, a group of Christian warriors for Christ, for their marriage, for their children, for their kingdom. Chapter 3, a start-to-finish solution. The truth is, brother, just like that testimonial said, the work is never finished, and neither is this brotherhood. We support you when she's decided her best path is away from you and you just enter inside this program. We support you when she is starting to come back. We support you after she has come back. We support you for the rest of your life. So what you need is a start-to-finish solution. Nothing held back. Nothing incomplete. And you need someone to give you every piece of the puzzle from where you sit today to having her back in your arms in your bed, happy and enthusiastic to be there. And you need somebody to organize it in a way that is step by step and easy to follow. Somebody to lock arms with you, brother to brother, and help you navigate this path step by step, and help you and support you while you take action and implement. One big thing to know is we operate from a place of clarity and integrity. No vague generalities. As men, we are responsible for taking a stand and creating certainty. Inside this brotherhood, we model and demonstrate that. We lead from where we live. In a couple of minutes, you're going to see what I mean by every piece of the puzzle. And in short, we have no interest in providing you with just information. In everything we do, we drive real, lasting, and true transformation based on correct implementation. And the other thing to know is we never expect men to just consume the training and hope. We want, expect, and brother, we demand that every man in our brotherhood takes massive action. We get specific. We get tactical. And almost immediately you'll be thinking, okay, I can see a path forward. I see a path forward. I can get my emotions under control. I can release my rage. I can hunt down and kill the monster. I can learn how to show up as an elite level husband. I can become that leader, that man, that king. I can hunt down and kill the mama's boy. I can lead her to a space where her hurt and anger and broken trust and broken connection are resolved. Because you'll have a simple step-by-step plan for making that happen. With an amazing team to guide you and support you every step of the way. But brother, I want you to know very clearly that this only works if you do. I want you to bring all your grit. I want you to bring all your heart. I want you to bring all your guts. And I want you reaching out and asking for help every day, every step of the way. Because that is how you create results. This only works with coaching. I want you to bring all your fears. I want you to bring all your doubts. I want you to bring all your false and limiting beliefs. And we're going to coach you through everything that is standing between you and success. Because that is how we ensure that you get results. It's time to stop playing at being an elite level husband. It's time to stop searching for that next blog post. It's time to stop searching for that next video. It's time to put all of that nonsense away. And it's time to start using a biblical solution to your marriage. It's time to get the coaching, the mentorship, and the accountability that makes the new information you're consuming possible to implement. That is what really works. Fair enough? Good. Because aren't you sick and tired of programs that just give you one little piece of the answer? Maybe you buy a program that teaches you how to make yourself bulletproof to preserve your self-respect as a man. And then you buy a program that is a helper so you can get a nudge in the right direction. And then you buy a program that helps you diffuse the bomb inside your marriage. And then you're left with all these programs that gave you one little piece of the answer, but not the whole thing. And then you're forced to try to put them all together into a marriage that works. That's insane, right? Your wife and your family deserve better, brother. You deserve better. God deserves better. Everything you care about on this earth and the life after it are at stake here. Chapter 4, True Certainty that this will work and work quickly. How is this even possible? Quite simply, she wants her marriage to work. Nobody wants their life to fall apart. She doesn't want to be alone. She doesn't want to have to be a single mom. She doesn't want to have to date with her post-childbirth body. She's worried about her kids and she doesn't want to destroy them. She doesn't want to lose 70% of her net worth. She doesn't want the health stress on her body. You must understand. When she is hurting and broken and angry, the little girl in her is demanding a divorce, and she would set her own hair on fire to get away from you if need be. But when her king rises, she gets what she wants and has fantasized since childhood. Her king helps her to resolve the hurt, the brokenness, the anger, the fear, the doubt, the mistrust, and rebuilds trusting connection. Then logic and reason re-enter her brain, and now, getting everything she wants and needs, she can see a path forward. Chapter 5, Information versus Transformation. Your wife doesn't care what you've learned. She cares how she feels when she interacts with you. So nothing about what I do is about giving you information only. Everything I do is about helping you to achieve true and lasting transformation. Because who you are and how you show up, and then what you say and do, and what you don't say and do, those are the experiences, that 59/60ths of those experiences that cause her to feel better because she has had an interaction with you. Or worse, because she has had an interaction with you. And that's why all the information in the world won't solve this problem. Only transformation will. That's why I work with you, to help you get this done. not just show you how it's done. I'm coaching and supporting you every step of the way, and so are my coaches, so that you can really get the outcome of winning your wife back, most often in 8 weeks or less. The men who become her king and get back on their throne, they are coachable. They are decisive, probably the number one quality. The guy who is 1 foot in his marriage and 1 foot out is the guy who's going to quit and fail. They are resourceful. If you can't get through the wall, you figure out a way. You reach out for help. You get the coaching and the accountability necessary to go over it, around it, or figure out how to find the door and the key and the lock to get it open so you can get through it. They do not quit. That's what it takes to transform. Now, I'm telling you this because if you want results like the men who came before you and the men you're going to see in their testimonials below, that you're going to have to show up like they did. My brother, I can make it simple. I can make it step by step. I can support you every step of the way. But nobody can make it easy, and nobody can do it for you. You become the king. She stops the divorce in its tracks. See, she thought she married a prince who became a king on her wedding day. Now she believes she was tricked into the frog, just like we talked about in the videos above. The frog must transform into the king. If you want her to put her ring back on, if you want her to get back under the same roof, if you want her to take the divorce off the table, if you want her in your bed and happy to be there, I cannot reiterate enough. You must be the man. You must be the leader. You must be the king. You must kill the monster. You must kill the mama's boy. You must transform. Learning what to do is important, but she doesn't care if you only know what to do. Learning how to do it is important, but she doesn't care if you only know how to do it. You must become the man who can do it, and the man who does it consistently. You must become the man who does it. And that's why in this brotherhood we are obsessed and ruthlessly committed to transformation for every man in the brotherhood. What you must understand, real transformation takes real support, hands-on support. It's not enough to have somebody show you how you should be texting or talking to your wife. You need an expert to look over your texts and your planned communications and help you to fix them and to rewrite them along with you until they're perfect. The same thing for helping you to pre-game and post-mortem your conversations with her. And whether you know it or not, you also need someone to support your mindset. Because we all get scared and discouraged and angry and negative and inside of scarcity. And the last person you ever want to turn to with that is your wife. It's your job to lead her out of those emotions. And everything you're doing is leading her emotionally. Do not lead her when you have those feelings. Come inside the brotherhood and get led to better emotions and then go lead your wife. So you need someone there to coach you through those moments of doubt. The real man is certain. The alpha man is certain. You're leading in that space. You are the chief certainty officer, but you're filled with doubt. You need someone to coach you through that doubt and lift it back to certainty so she can follow in that space. Never settle for a program that teaches you a strategy yet leaves you on your own for how to apply and implement it. How can you possibly succeed if you have no support to help you implement it? Maybe you've invested in programs like that in the past. You buy some information and get stuck implementing it, and then you don't get the result. Helping you transform to get the result is a huge part of my secret sauce. My brother, in final preparation for our call, let's review why you're in this bad spot. You're not in control of your own emotions and can therefore neither make her feel safe nor lead her into better emotions. You only understand 10% of what she needs in a husband, the man, the leader, and the king she deeply desires. 20% of the most important stuff you need to know about her, she decided a long time ago that she will never share with you. And for years, she has not been telling you how you've been failing because it's neither been safe nor productive due to the monster and the mama's boy. The only tools you've had to fix this are arguing, which hurts her and doesn't take care of her and therefore makes you the frog, begging, pleading, over-pleasing, and trying to convince the woman who thought she married a king to stay with the frog. There should be no doubt left in your mind as to why she is done. So the real question, brother, is what are you going to do about it? Step number 1, you must become the master of your soul. You must literally become something that you are currently not. You must transcend something that is currently impossible for you and make it possible. We release our rage so that we can think, feel, and choose clearly, so that we can generate internal comfort, joy, and bliss on demand, even in the face of her worst behavior on her worst day. And then lead her in the emotional space consistently and operate on her belief system by proving to her heart that something major has changed. And it is now safe to have difficult conversations with her husband, her leader, her king. Step number 2, become the guardian of her soul. You must literally become something that you are currently not. You must transcend something that is currently impossible for you and make it possible. We become the man, the leader, and the king so that we gain the skill and attitudes that will produce transformation and consistently better experience for her. And we operate on her belief system by proving to her that something major has changed. And now it is productive to have difficult conversations with her husband and king. The results is that number 1, you stop hurting her. Number 2, you start taking care of her. And these things, by her judging and being the jury and the executioner, she believes that you're not hurting her, and she believes that you're taking care of her, and she believes that now her deepest fantasies of how she would be loved begin to come true, that she is actually married to a king. She sees the king emerging from the frog. And in this space, her body begins to fall back in love with you, with every interaction, she comes away feeling better than going into it, ensuring she gets a dopamine hit every time, meaning that her body feels physically and emotionally better. She gets feelings of attraction and attachment and bonding and arousal. Her body wants more. Her body is falling in love with you again. This time it's real. It's not a projected king onto a frog being reflected as a king. You have truly become the king. And now she sees it and her body knows it. But her brain is still going to say, no. Her brain is going to say, no, not that frog, not that guy, not that frog. He can't be trusted. Nothing has been resolved. Her brain and body in our conflict. Her body says, here's a king. Her brain says, no, it's a frog. And the only way out of this conflict is that maybe for the first time ever, in her mind, she thinks it's safe and productive to have the difficult conversations. As a new man, as a king, you now have the inner game skills to be 100% in control of yourself emotionally and lead in the emotional space, helping her to feel better after every interaction with you, even if the reason she came into the interaction feeling bad was because of you. And you have the elite level husband skills to navigate these conversations and get the issues resolved, never to be revisited again. As a new man, as a new leader, as a new king, you continue to do and say the things that are elite level husband type things, and you continue to not do or say those that are not. And she comes to believe that she is safe with you and that you will protect her and you will take care of her and you will never hurt her. And she comes to believe that it's productive to have the difficult conversations with you. And the wall starts coming down. And at first what comes out is horrible. But at some point, what comes out is talk about a possible future with you, a happy future with you. And then the question we all want to hear. You've become such a better husband. Not only am I 100% back in the marriage, I don't ever want to lose you. How can I be a better wife? She's now done what you have always wanted her to do and always needed her to do. She is biblically submitted. She has put the lever in your hand. From the 30,000-foot view, you have become her true spiritual leader. And you must continue to lead in this space. Pull that lever, brother. Lead her to her sanctification. Get a wife who is always reliably open and warm and kind and compassionate and caring and forgiving and trusting and accepting and loving and holding space and forgiving and accepting and giving you the benefit of the doubt that you want to be a better man and you're on a path to be there, and she sees that path forward and she forgives you as you slip and fall along the way. And at this point, she will actually be open to you giving her course corrections. And that is every man's dream. Now, brother, you start to be able to have the moral authority to get what you want out of the marriage. This leads to happiness. This leads to the laughing and teasing and loving and tickling and playing and the stuff behind closed doors where all your childhood fantasies are coming true, brother. And all her childhood fantasies are coming true. And now you're building that kingdom for God, to glorify God, that your children will be safe and flourish in, and so you can leave a legacy for your children and your grandchildren. And now, brother, you must keep expanding. How are you going to pull all this off? How are you going to do this, brother? How are you going to transform your inner game? How are you going to learn those elite level husband behaviors? How are you going to learn to always be leading your wife in these spaces? How are you going to continue to lead and expand? Because you must always be growing. How are you going to do any of this when you're operating alone? Here's another fact, brother. The best coaches go out into the world and study. They have coaches themselves. They become addicted to self-awareness and self-improvement and growth in all areas of their life, because they know that they must always be expanding, to always be leading. And if you want to coach your marriage, you must do this too. When you're green, you grow, but when you get ripe, you get rotten. You must always be steps ahead of your wife, in your belief, in your certainty, as a man, as a leader, as a warrior, as a lover, as a king. You must always be leading in the emotional and relationship space. Most important, you must lead from where you live, because she will not follow unless you are blazing a path every day. You are further down the road of growth than she is, to transfer your certainty to her, and she can feel safe that she is with a real man, a leader, a king. And this never stops for the rest of your life, because the day it stops, her certainty begins to die. Her feelings of safety begin to fade. And she starts to look at the king more like a frog. And the question is this, brother. Can you become that man fast enough to prevent things in your marriage from getting worse? The clock is ticking. Every woman is 6 months ahead of her husband than what she's talking about in terms of divorce. Watch the testimonials below and see how man after man after man after man after man got blindsided. There's a very short runway. You need to get in, and you need to get in and fix it now. Look, information does not equal transformation. Transformation only occurs with correct implementation of the information. And as you travel this journey, you will get stuck. You will have blind spots. You will face challenges. You will face things that look impossible. And you will be imprisoned by the same thoughts and emotions and choices and feelings that have led you to your current life. To pull this off, you must get different experiences. You must always be 10 steps ahead of her. If the king does not rise, the marriage dies. That's where coaching comes in. Right now you're stuck, and you have some new information. But I want to caution you. You're going to get one shot to pull this off. If you do it wrong, she's going to see it as manipulative rather than ministering. She's going to shut down harder, and she's going to dig her heels in, and you will have lost your chance to implement this system. That's why I support you through every aspect of your transformation and journey, and why I've created a brotherhood of successful Christian men who have solved this problem to help mentor you, to hold you accountable to the work, to become prayer warriors to help you with your spiritual battle. and to ensure that you never have to endure the pain of operating alone in your marriage ever again. So that you always have a place to come to get new, expanded experiences. So that the king is always rising, always leading his wife to her idea of her best life and best self. Because you're doing this work ahead of her and leading from where you live. Every blind spot destroyed. Every question answered. Every bad habit reprogrammed. Everything holding you back obliterated. Because associating with this elite brotherhood, with these kings, you will become a king yourself. You will become the who can treat his wife like a queen, the man who can pull that off in every interaction, so that she can trust that she is safe and loved, and her king will never hurt her and always take care of her. And so you can not only win her back, but keep her back, my brother. Are you next?